surprises, and even sometimes accidents can be happy accidents because you discover something. As a painter, okay? Gusto niyo yung buong history. When I was 14, I told my mom, I don't want to be a doctor, I want to be an actress. Of course, syempre, nalungkot siya. Hindi pwede talaga. So, during the summers, I don't like school. I don't like yung very tedious structure ng school. So, I made it okay, but not as accomplished as my sisters na laging top in the class and all that. But, I had wanted to be an actress on stage. Ayun ang nanay ko. So, in the summers, yung favorite ko summers because I attend all different kinds of workshops. The kind of, so yun yung kind of learning na you're having fun, but you're learning. You enjoy what you learn, you do. And so, instead of enrolling me in another theater class, she enrolled me in painting class. That was the worst thing. Because sabi ko, parang ang feeling ko, I like working with a team. And then in art, parang you're on your own. It's so lonely. But then later on, there's a series of summers that she enrolled me in classes. And then I fell in love with it. And then when I was 20, I was also because I was not allowed to take theater arts or any kind of arts. Because yung thinking ng nanay ko, because she comes from that time when success is equivalent to success. You equate success with lucrative kind of profession, and of course, art is not lucrative. So she asked me to be an architect. So I was learning. I was studying architecture in UST, but on the side, even though if there was school, I was also still attending my painting lessons under Ibarra de la Rosa in Philippine Women's University. So I was painting, and then. I was like there for about 4 to 6 months, and then my teacher said, okay, you join a competition. I didn't realize there was a national competition. I joined the competition, sunod-sunuran lang ako, and then I won the grand prize. But the competitions does not define you as an artist, does not make you an artist. Parang bonus lang yun. What makes you an artist, I guess, is your sincerity to your response to whatever. Because sorry, medyo baduy tawagin or cliche masyado, but it is I find it like it's a calling. Because I feel like, the desires that we have in our heart, it's not something that you choose. I am choosing to desire this. No, it's just there. And to me, it's something that has been implanted by some outside, an entity, a powerful entity outside your being. So, why is the desire there? There must be a purpose why the desire is there, and the purpose is for you to pursue that and act upon it, and the universe will take care of it. Anyway, in the beginning, I was creating, I was creating flowers, mga gulay, anything that I see that looks attractive, the sunlight, it's just like technical painting. Wala namang content. Hindi ko naman iniisip yung depth ng artwork kung anong laman nun. But, anything that I'm drawn to, I paint it. And I love painting in oil. It came to a point when, from the gulay sa palengke, yung mga inaano ko nasa bilao, nakakatawa nga eh. And then, may nakikita ko yung lighting ng buko, paint ako ng buko, tapos may nakakita ko ng mga halaman sa hardin. Ang ganda-ganda ng kulay ng mga bromeliads kasi halaman lang siya pero iba't ibang kulay, so may I paint that also. Tapos until I came to parang ang intention ko lang naman to be technically good as a painter. Wala naman ako intention maging artist. Malay ko kung ano yung pagiging artist. I started to paint my portrait kasi may mga nag-a-attend ako ng mga group sessions ng mga artists. Of course, you get exposed, you get invited to shows, join group shows and stuff like that. I was very young. Mga kasama ko nasa mga 50s. I was, it started when I was 18. Yan. So, sa kapra-practice mo ng mga anatomy drawing, tapos on the spot yung drawing yung face, parang practice lang. I became very interested in the face. And then, because I didn't have money for the model, expensive magkaroon ng sitter to sit in front of you, I made myself the model. So I did a lot of self-portraits. But then in the process, I discovered that as the more you create your portraits, every time you create a portrait, there is something about you. Para it makes you introspect, like, who am I? Why, ito pala itsura ko. So what does the face say? There's so much in every face, and no face is the same. And the irony of it all is that anybody, the face that you're stuck with, this face that I'm stuck with, I will never see the actual face. I will see all your faces, but never in my life will I see my actual face. I can only see my face when there's like an instrument that reflects it. I can only see my face, but everything that is not the actual, there is a kind of distortion to it. So you have a kind of limited access to who you are. Yun yung metaphor ko, right? So what is it? This is the truth. This is me. You can see me. You have an idea or impression of me. But that still is limited because you cannot go inside me. You don't know my thoughts. You don't know what my experience is. So you have a limited impression of me. The same way that I would also have a limited impression of myself.
But, diba, in the end, we're all the same. We're all bones and muscle. I mean, this is just the surface. This is only a part of us. But this is not who we are. We are beyond our looks. We are beyond our feelings. We are beyond our thoughts. Mm-hmm. So, and that goes for men and women.
Preview.
I grew up being told I'm ugly. Okay, I grew up in this colonial. This culture that has colonial mentality, that the ideal beauty is the fair skin, the ideal beauty is matangos ang ilong, the ideal beauty is the blonde hair, the ideal beauty is the celebrities that we see from the Western world. And then when you're dark, and I experienced this, when you're dark, you're ugly. Not so much anymore in your time right now, pero I can see that, like, it's so hard to get to buy a soap that is not whitening soap. So what does that tell us? Beauty is fair skin. But do you know that the most beautiful women are the brown women, the black women, and sometimes, sorry to say this, but the black hair is the most beautiful hair. And I really cannot relate why Filipinas would color the hair. I'm sorry. This is just my idea. Parang the black silky hair is the most beautiful hair. Men die for that. So I'm thinking, who am I as a Filipina? It went beyond, like, who am I, period. But it's, who am I? I am a woman. I am a Filipina. I belong to, my roots are from this kind of, I was raised this way. I was raised Catholic. I was raised this way. I was given this kind of, like, parang, it's all about where you come from. That sorts of, like, help define you. But then also, it's the choices that you make that define you. So, it's just a portrait, but it did a lot to me. So, and ang intention ko dyan is only because for the mere fact that nobody wants to sit for a practice portrait for me. So, isn't that, nakakatuwa yung process. This is something that you don't expect, you don't anticipate, you don't plan. It just happened. That's why I also got myself into pursuing it. So, nagkaroon na ako ng question, who am I as a Filipina? Who am I? I'm a Filipina. What is a Filipina? In the Greek, there was a new publication, yung Greek dictionary. Okay? And merong isang entry that says Filipinesa. What did it say? A Filipino lady. What did it say? A domestic worker from the Philippines, or a person who performs non-essential auxiliary tasks. My gosh, that's how we are seen. So what is that? Wala tayong work? And I didn't believe that. I knew that we are more and beyond that. We have intelligence. Kung walang women sa Pilipinas, can you imagine how will the men survive? They'll go crazy. They wouldn't know what to do. I grew up in a family where my mom was widowed at 36 years old. I was 2 years old. She was pregnant with a 5th child. So I grew up without male image. So maybe it has to do also with that. And then you grow up in the society na men dominate. Diba? I mean, we know that sa pamilya, usually it's the wives that yung nagdadala ng pamilya. Pero it is not something that we speak about, and we allow the men to take charge or take the, like, siya yung nasa pedestal na ako ang nagdadala ng pamilya. But in reality, they'll go crazy. Hindi nila alam gagawin pagka. So there is power in us. And there is beauty in us. And I feel the need to assert that. And even in a simple painting, I think there is power in image. Like your designers, there is power in image. It's very direct. Parang, anong tawag dito? It connects directly to people because malakas ang visual, di ba? Malakas yung signs and symbols that are suggested in our understanding when we see visual images. Laging may meaning kaagad. So even if the meaning is not direct, it's a simple portrait. Eventually, some kind of connection or some kind of whatever meaning it has will eventually, be perceived by the viewer. Kasi I never really look at strengths and weakness. I just try to observe and experience the encounters in the creative process. And kung maging perfect yung work process as you plan it, wala kang enrichment. So I like very much that I make mistakes. Because in making mistakes, it pushes me to discover and to innovate and to explore where you get the experience of Eureka.
As long as meron nun, yun yung life. Kita mong buhay ka. So, yung dati sinasabi ko sa kaibigan ko na parang ang buhay, paikot-ikot lang, isang bilog lang, ikot lang. Sometimes you have your highs, you have your lows. Sabi niya, hindi. Ang buhay, hindi lang bilog, spiral yan. Habang umiikot ka, may bago kang kaalaman, may bago kang natututunan sa lahat ng mga karanasan mo. Umiikot siya pataas. Diba? Hindi siya yung paikot-ikot lang babalik sa dati. Hindi. Every experience that you have, there is a learning to it. And that learning, yung sa paniwala ko, kung hindi mo mapasa isang pagsubok, babalik at babalik yun. Kaya ipasa mo na ngayon para may bago kang pagsubok na mas marami kang matututunan at mas marami kang idadagdag sa sarili. At kung hindi ka makakapagdagdag sa sarili, anong ibabahagi mo sa iba? Each one of us is but a drop of water in the ocean. Nobody can claim to be the ocean. But you are an important drop. So I have to ground myself to that thought all the time. But at the same time, you are an important drop. You have to give what you can give. You're part of this world. You are part of this beautiful creation that you have to make the most of your life because that's what you give to the world.